Shalom and greetings to you all. And we're still in the 12 days that define our year. And I hope your year is going great and you're setting your intention for what you want. Now, you may notice I look a little bit different. We're a week away from the holiest day of the biblical year. And this is a reminder to get ready. In fact, we're a week away from the holiest day in two religions. Passover and Easter come together this year. And that's always exciting when that happens. It will be something historic, something caloric, something for everyone. Freedom at night, tales that are thrilling, food that is filling, something for everyone. Anyhow, friends, get ready for your day of freedom, because it's coming. Now, I want to send congratulations to my dear friends Americo and Carlos, who are in Jerusalem getting married this week, and then setting off on an around-the-world 3-month adventure. Beautiful people, true love, a happy life. Now, and after this week, we actually end up with a bit of a 2-week break. Next week being Passover, and the following week being the 8th day of the 7-day holiday. But it does not mean you necessarily get rid of me. Next week, we'll talk about this incredible holiday that's coming up, and we'll decide about the following week later. See, here in the diaspora, the scattered exile that has affected the Jewish people for these last several thousand years, we add a day to most of the holidays. We do the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, and we add a day to the 7-day festivals. So there's kind of like an 8th day to the 7-day festivals. Now, even though we have been scattered for so much of our existence, for the last 3,300 years, our wonderful community has come together wherever we are to celebrate love, happiness, and freedom, especially freedom. And even though we do it annually, we actually also do it every week, my friends, when we come together as a community, a like-minded, like-souled unification of spirit. The collective consciousness of seekers coming together in a showing of faith, of love, a community, a chavura, a fellowship. When we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, that unites us all, every one of us in this community house of spirit, of Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead, invite everybody, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together right now. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, Hine Matov B'nai, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, community, community together. And friends, that's what we are. We are a community the world over. So as a community, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. Remember, friends, this is your sending some of that goodwill that we all generate out to the universe to go where it needs to go. Now, this week, Baruch lost a dear friend. Cindy, a soulmate. Rudy, a partner. And the world, an absolutely beautiful human being. Reuven Gershon Ben Shepshel. As the prayer that is said by the angels on our behalf when we're on the threshold of death goes, I acknowledge before you, O Lord my God and the God of my forefathers, that my recovery and death are in your hands. May it be your will that you heal me with total recovery, but if I die, may my death be an atonement for all the errors, iniquities, and willful sins that I have erred, sinned, and transgressed before you. May you grant my share in the Garden of Eden and privilege me for the world to come that is concealed for the righteous. Reuven, your share in the Garden of Eden among the righteous is guaranteed. Baruch Dayan Emet. So let's take a moment as we get ready to celebrate freedom, to say goodbye, and to invoke healing and renewal for everyone, for everybody you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody that you know also. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill, my friends. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets, for the earth. It's the healing of the earth. The tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup, for us as individuals, for the world, for Kim and Robert, for Coco, for X, for John and Jesse, for Alex, and of course always for the B, and of course for all of you. This time of newness, you need renewal too. Friends, it is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need, and it does find those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. Mi Shabbat Avodeinu Makor HaBracha Bimoteinu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Let us say Amen, my friendship, Mishaberach. Let us all have our spirits renewed the world over. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we all call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because healing is a blessing. So let's all heal as we close out this year with our hopes, dreams, and wishes for the next, and for goodness for everybody. Now this week, we're reading what's usually the second half of last week's, and the theme continues as we read metzorah, leper. Now how appealing is that? Leviticus 14:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, this shall be the teaching concerning the one struck with skin blanch. And skin blanch is a better name. It used to be called leprosy, but now almost all modern translations call it by its more appropriate appellation, and the two are different. Last week we began an examination of all these priestly rules and regulations regarding conditions. Some visible, some invisible, but they have a commonality, my friends. They are treated as conditions that you can not just have, but that you can catch. And this is important because we're going to find out that you can catch disease and you can catch holiness. They're almost like two sides of the same condition. And the fear is of these conditions being able to spread not just to people, but to your houses as well. Leviticus 14:35. And the one whose house it is will come and tell the priest, saying, it appears like an affliction to me in the house. Almost like a haunted house. Now the owner of the house contemplates what is evidently some sort of mold or mildew in the walls of his house, and wonders whether it exhibits a certain similarity, which the diagnosing priest, remember it's the priest who does the diagnoses now, could establish as actually being of the very same pathology to the skin disease. So it's up to the priest to determine all these things. Seen the arrow on the doorpost, saying this land is condemned, all the way from New Orleans to Jerusalem. See, it's about contagion, the spread of conditions to people and to places. And so this is really all about the purification. Now, what a term that is. It's not about healing. It's about purifying. Okay? All the cleansing and purification takes place in a particular fashion. And that's what we're going to notice about all of this. Forget about the sacrifices. Okay? You're going to read about all the different sacrifices that have to be done. But we have not seen one since around Second Temple times. Notice instead the things we still do. And one of the most important phrases you will notice is that it always says over living water. Mayim chayim. Fresh water flowing from a well or other natural source. as opposed to stagnant or stored water. Now, notice that almost all these rituals takes place over living water. And so that's why mikvahs can be considered so important. They are considered living water, and they're the cleansing apparatus of living water. It is a return to that primordial condition of our beginning, the separation of the water from above and the water below. Now, what you'll also notice, and I know you will because you're also aware, is that the herb hyssop is the great cleanser of the Bible, mentioned all the time. It's used throughout this parsha, and of course, it is hyssop that's used to mark the doorpost and lintels for the halting, for Passover, that we do next week. And we are told on the day of the unclean and on the day of the clean, this is the teaching. Well, here we go again. It's the day of the unclean and the day of the clean. It's all about this separation and division. That's what Leviticus is going to be all about. Even if the restrictions regarding menstruation are less extreme here than in some other cultures, the association of this natural female function with uncleanness is one that has had problematic social and perhaps psychological consequences continuing through post-biblical Judaism. It's like with the leper that we're now reading about. And again, this was all in this one section. You bring the leper to the priest. So what follows is never a ritual of healing. Healing is understood to always be something that takes place. The person's already healed. This is rituals of purification. All of these are rituals of purifications. And it tells you the sacrifice. You take a bird, you sprinkle blood on it, and he shall sprinkle it on the one being purified from the leprosy 7 times. And he shall identify him as pure, and he shall let the live bird go at the open field. Well, we don't do that anymore. See, these rules are all about the sacrifice. It's not for you. It's a handbook for the priest. Never forget that. This Leviticus is purely a handbook for the priest. We will observe a transition, though, in all cases. There is always this transition. Here it is from impure to pure, just as in the priestly case it was from secular to holy. Right? That's how this book got set up, with them becoming the holy priests of the people. So these parshas are about bringing people who are infirm back into the community. It's not about healing. It's about how do we bring them back. As derivative practices in our own time, we have synagogues that have now installed ramps to the beam for handicapped persons and balloons for the deaf so they can experience vibrating sounds for the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. As we were once responsible to return and include those who were impure to the congregation, so we now have to learn to include the handicapped as well. It is inspirational that we can derive this essential principle from a parsha of the Torah that seems so remote to readers in this age. The person, the bed, the chair, the function, the house, all can contain the contagion, indicating that touch makes it impure. Entirely and instantly. And it's not about how we cure these people. The cure is given. It's how we can reintegrate them. Everything's about the reintegration. And this tells us something about the nature of impurity. It spreads throughout a person or an object. And it's not any kind of creatures like bacteria. See, it's a pervasive condition that we're going to end up reading about with all of these things. We'll read about it again later when we read about Miriam and her leprosy. I pushed my soul into the dark hole and I followed it in. I met myself crawling after as I was crawling in. And I woke up so tired I thought I'd never unwind. I saw so much that it broke my mind. I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. It's a condition, my friends. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe especially yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life and tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy your journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles leading up to our day of freedom. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because our effect, our cause, everything is linked together. You always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Again, it is part of your kavanah, your intention for the world. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and to be compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you, act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Let's make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You are never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring those blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform energy, my friends, to love, to bless. So be generous, bless others, and bless yourself, and love with the heart. We're all part of a much greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone is always there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you have experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, and we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to the promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they free you. Think about the people you need to forgive, those you need to ask forgiveness of. Forgiveness comes from acceptance, and that brings peace, and peace, my friends, will last forever. So enjoy the week, continuing to imprint your will on the universe and on your year. You need to have a vision of where you want to go, and remember, the Festival of Freedom is just around the corner, and absolutely everybody is entitled to be free. 700 million. Are you listening? Most of what you read is made of lies. Speaking 1 to 1, ain't it everybody's son? To wake to in the morning when we rise. Come and sing a simple song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Let it fill the air. Tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want no war. Now that's one of the great modern anthems of freedom, my friends. So go and celebrate freedom. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. We'll see you again next week.